Welcome back to Most Buffalo, everybody. Today is International Polar Bear Day. 7 years ago this week, Luna the polar bear made her debut at the Buffalo Zoo. Now, as she and her mate Sakari enter their third breeding season together, Lauren Hall has more on the hope for some new polar bears.
Even on the very coldest days of the year, Luna and Sakari always draw a crowd at the Buffalo Zoo.
Here comes Luna!
The polar bears are 7 years old now, and they've been together a while. So naturally, the question around here is, when are they having cubs?
Obviously, we want polar bear babies. They're adorable. Luna is beautiful. Sakari is handsome, and they would make just gorgeous babies.
For polar bears, the magic can only happen once a year, and that time is now.
We can tell when breeding season starts because Sakari will start, looking for Luna across the divide of the exhibits.
They'll spend from now until May together. Then Luna will go back off exhibit and spend time on her own for denning season, when her body gets ready for a pregnancy.
Polar bears have a very interesting reproductive technique called delayed implantation. So they breed early in the year, but the egg doesn't actually start developing until later on.
If all goes well and she does get pregnant, Luna will likely have her cubs in November. They'd stay inside with her for a few months and then likely make their public debut sometime in March.
It takes a little while for them to come outside. It's not like she immediately has cubs and they go outside as little tiny babies. It takes a couple months.
And yes, we said cubs. The average polar bear pregnancy brings 2 cubs, sometimes 3.
And what will that be like when that happens?
I think Buffalo is going to just erupt in celebration. Everybody loves Luna. Everybody has seen Luna grow up, and so having her have cubs, that would just be a huge thing for us. So like I said, this is just the beginning. We have many, many years of these two trying. They both, their bodies are doing what they're supposed to, so we know that they both can, theoretically have cubs. So it's just a matter of getting it right.
It's really rare for polar bears to be born in captivity, so if Luna were to have cubs soon, it would be a big deal for the Buffalo Zoo, bringing a lot of exposure and visitors there. It would also mean that she and her cubs would stay here together for several years as she raised them through their first years of life. Of course, you can learn more about all of this right with this story on WGRZ.com. Lauren Hall, Channel 2 News.